Hey there guys, you probably noticed that I didn't put a video out yesterday. It's because I am right here in Honolulu, Hawaii. Actually, this is Sharks Cove, and as you can see, it's starting to drizzle a little bit. If I pan around here, you can probably see the rain cloud up there against the mountains. You can for sure see it, and that's where the rain's coming from. So that's why I didn't put a video out yesterday, because my wife and I are taking our first trip in 16 years, and we decided to come here. My wife comes to Hawaii once a year for her birthday, so she's familiar with the area, so I came with her this time so we could have a little fun. First time I've taken a vacation in 16 years. Now I've done cool stuff during that time. This is the first kind of do-nothing vacation. As you can see, the water's beautiful. My wife is out there in the water, right back over here. She's taking pictures. This is Sharks Cove right here, for those of you that don't know. A lot of times you can snorkel. It's usually pretty awesome snorkeling, but the tide's out. We got here probably 10 minutes before the tide was completed rolling out. Usually you're in about 4 or 5 feet of water right there, and right now it's probably 2 to 3 feet of water. So you can't snorkel, but you can walk through it and still, you know, it's real picturesque. The fish are all throughout it. But I did want to talk about the issue going on in Los Angeles, and I will still be putting a video out daily from here. What a mess. You know, National Guard's been called in. They're setting things on fire. They're waving a foreign flag on American soil. And it's not confusing, because I understand that a lot of this is bought and paid for. These are paid protests. I mean, these aren't being done accidentally. These are not a grassroots effort. Are there some people who are probably aggravated that Trump is deporting people who broke the law to get into this country? Yes, but not at the scale that they're making this out to be. Make no mistake, this is a paid-for effort in Los Angeles. The local officials are proving that just as much too, because they're not doing much to stop all this, which is why the National Guard is having to be brought in. It's a shame that the federal government has to get involved in state issues, because that's the one thing that we always try to push, is for the dang government to stay out of the state's issues. We want it more localized as far as control. Unfortunately, California, the entire state, more specifically Los Angeles, has no way to control anything, certainly not the people over there, because they all need to be voted back into office. So they're willing to set aside any kind of allegiance or patriotic notion of supporting our constitutional issues in this country. Now, let's make no mistake that people who enter this country illegally do not have the same constitutional protections in this country as we do. I don't understand why that's so hard to understand. Excuse me. This is one of those things that has always baffled me. We don't have rights in hardly any other country that we go to, but these people break the law to enter our country and then sit back and piss and moan that they don't have our constitutional rights. Well, you're not an American. You are not an American. Americans have constitutional rights. Look, people who come to this country to visit, they're not all protected by constitutional rights of this country. The Constitution protects the American people. The Constitution recognizes our fundamental rights, not foreigners. So somebody could be standing on the border, you're telling me, in Mexico or Canada for that matter, and step 1 foot over and suddenly be covered by the Constitution? I'm sorry, that's not how it works. American people, American citizens are protected by our Constitution. These people protecting these illegal aliens who broke the law to enter this country, they should all be jailed. I don't know why we piss around and do stuff like this, use taxpayer money to go over there and now deport these illegals that the locals won't do. And we, the taxpayers, are having to pay for this because California won't do that. California is one of the biggest screw-ups in the entire 50-state country of the United States. And these people do not learn their lesson. They have record numbers of people who have left the state of California. And in many cases, this is why. Even the liberals are bailing out of that state because it's such a horrible state to live in. They won't admit why, but they're leaving for the same reasons that the people who will admit why are leaving. So guys, I just want to point that out real quick. I will have more in-depth videos. I am going to try to have a little bit of fun. I think we're going to go down the road a little bit and snorkel here in a second. So we're going to have some fun there. But I will be checking in daily. I know it's a 5-hour difference between Central Time Zone where I was in the States and here, but nevertheless, I say in the States, mainland. So I know there'll be a little bit of a gap. If there's a tourism chopper, I can hear it. He's probably flying in right over here. A lot of time, been down here at Sharks Cove for a while, and they fly a lot of these tourism helicopters in, and they hover at Sharks Cove, I guess, telling the tourists about Sharks Cove, how good of a snorkeling area it is. And I assume, nope, he's overhead. That's not what he's doing. Anyway, guys, this is it. This is Sharks Bay. Look how low the water is, if you guys know, or Sharks Cove, I mean, Cove. If you know the area, then you see that ridge across there? That's what circles this thing and keeps any major wildlife or whatever from coming in here. So you can actually, this whole area will fill up with water and you can snorkel in it, and there's no real danger of sharks, obviously. There are no sharks in Sharks Cove, but kind of that's why. It's because that reef that circles this entire thing, it circles from one side of it all the way around to this side over here. And that keeps any large creatures, if you will, from getting down in here. And you're able to snorkel in there. So it's a beautiful, beautiful set. And obviously the fish know that they're safe here too, the smaller fish, so that's why they come here as well. So usually it's a lot fuller than this, a lot more fun to snorkel, but nevertheless it's a cool thing too. These guys are cutting and shredding, I guess, these palm trees behind me. So I'm gonna cut out of here in case you guys can't hear me. Yeah, they're fixing to shred these suckers. Hopefully they can throw a couple of pedophiles in there while they're at it.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. He's